me, Vito, looking at the Mario movie. It's my big review. Wahoo! Ooh, I'm gonna win. All right, I have no idea what I'm doing. Guys, what can I say? I saw the Mario movie. Isn't that exciting? Now, I was honestly a little bit nervous going into this movie because I read some of the early reviews, and as we can see over on Rotten Tomatoes, it currently has a 53% score from the critics. That's not good, but the audience loves it. Now, it's hard. You know, some people put more weight on the critic score, some people put more weight on the audience score. I don't know how it really depends on the movie. And for a movie like Mario, I'm a little more inclined. I was like, you know, the critics don't like it, but I don't know if it's for critics. And after seeing it, I can say absolutely, this is not a movie for the critics. This is a movie for the fans. And that's really all I can say. If you're a fan of Mario, you are going to absolutely love the heck out of this movie. If you don't know what Mario is, you're going to be kind of confused. You're going to go, what the hell is going on? What is this? The movie does not explain a lot of stuff. It kind of expects you to know who Mario is, what he's about, how his world works. And if you don't have any of that background, you might want to skip this one. But I think if you're in my audience, you're probably a guy or a gal who loves Mario, loves video games, loves that culture, and you're going to have a blast of a time. I want to tell you what worked here for me, some stuff that maybe didn't work so well, but overall, how satisfied I am with the Mario movie. We're going to get into it. Before we do, click that button down there. Subscribe to the Vito Nation. And real quick, I have to mention this. A lot of you have been asking, Vito, how come you haven't been uploading videos? Guys, I have a second channel. It's called Vito2. You can go to youtube.com/Vito2TWO, and you will find all the videos we've been making. I'm saving the bigger videos for my main channel, but if you want daily updates and recent news, please check out my second channel at Vito2. Now, I find the best way to talk about these things is usually to just go through the plot from front to back. And normally I would give you a spoiler warning, but part of the problem is there really are no spoilers for this movie. This movie, in a sense, doesn't even really have a plot. We'll talk about that a little more, but essentially, it's a classic Mario adventure. Mario has to defeat Bowser and save the Mushroom Kingdom. That's it. That's all the story you really need. Though it does start off, and it starts giving us some information on Mario and his background. What's very interesting, I think this is the first time we have ever been introduced to Mario's family. Okay, we meet his mom and his dad. He seems to have some cousins or uncles or whatever. He's just a down-on-his-luck plumber living in Brooklyn. He started up this new plumbing business with his brother Luigi, and they're struggling to get by. It was an interesting, creative decision to show his family. It didn't really feel necessary. I don't know why they felt the need to show his mom and dad. It could have just been two brothers living on their own in Brooklyn, and mom and dad are, I don't know, somewhere else. But for some reason, they decided to give us a Mario family now. There is a slight theme with the fact that the father seems disappointed in Mario. He says, you know, he's wasting his time and he's wasting his brother's time. Then by the end of the movie, obviously his father sees that he's a great hero and is cheering him on. But that theme is not really explored in any depth. Honestly, if I had written this movie, I would have left the whole family out of it. And I'm surprised Nintendo even allowed them to put a Mario family in the movie. I mean, it's a big expansion of the lore to suddenly introduce all these new Mario family members we've never heard of. I don't know if they're going to show up in future movies, future projects. It's very interesting. Anyway, as we've probably seen in the trailers, Mario's trying to make a name for his plumbing business. Nobody really cares. And then there's a big water main break in Brooklyn. And his idea is, we'll fix this big plumbing problem. And then me and my brother, we're going to be the heroes of the city and everyone's going to want to hire us. Interestingly, that does not actually get resolved. They go to fix the water break and then stumble across a warp pipe. Luigi accidentally stumbles in and Mario goes in after him. And part of me goes, so did anyone fix the water break? Did that just end up not being important? Like when we see it, they're like, oh my God, Brooklyn's going to flood. Everyone's going to die. And then Mario and Luigi get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom and you kind of forget all about what's happening to Brooklyn. I'm like, well, I guess somebody else just fixed that pipe. But as we see, Mario gets sent to the Mushroom Kingdom. Luigi gets sent to Bowser's Kingdom. And the movie is about Mario trying to save his brother from Bowser. This leads us to what is probably one of the big controversies of this movie. I don't think it needs to be a big controversy, but I do get why some people don't like the idea that Mario is saving Luigi instead of the princess. Now, we've discussed some of the more intense haters over on my second channel, Vito 2. Go check that video out. But there are even people who are going, well, this is clearly Hollywood's sick, liberal, feminist agenda, that they just want Peach to be like a girl boss, and the boy characters are going to be humiliated and disgraced. You guys are nuts. That's clearly not true. Peach exists to prop up Mario in this movie. She's always on his side. She's kind of like his cheerleader. Yes, she's very capable and adept at her job, but we learned that she has existed in the Mushroom Kingdom basically since she was a baby. She landed here, doesn't know who her parents are, which is very interesting, and I hope they explore that in future sequels or whatever else. So it makes sense that, yes, she knows how to navigate the hazards of the Mushroom Kingdom. At one point, we see her kicking ass on an obstacle course. The people who say, oh, she's a Mary Sue now. Princess Peach has been a playable character since Mario 2, guys. Like, she knows how to kick ass. She's in Smash Brothers. She's in Mario Kart. Like, it's fine to have female characters who are capable and powerful. That being said, I do wish that Luigi had played a bigger part in the movie. I mean, it is the Super Mario Brothers movie, but when it comes down to it, it's really more the Mario and Peach movie, and then the Mario and Donkey Kong movie. Luigi really only shows up at the very end. Having him get kidnapped by Bowser, I think that's fine, and it has good emotional stakes. As I brought up on Twitter, people are like, oh, they should be rescuing the princess. I'm like, yeah, but there's more emotional stakes if he's rescuing his brother as opposed to a girl he barely knows. Like, this is better emotional stakes for Mario. But I kind of wish he had been able to save Luigi about halfway through the movie, and then they could have teamed up for the rest of it to defeat Bowser. It's sad because Charlie Day is a great voice actor, very funny. I would have loved to see way more Luigi in this movie, but hopefully in the next movie, we're going to get that spotlight on him. And I will say, I loved Peach in this movie, so I wouldn't want to take any of that away to give it to Luigi. Again, I'm going nuts with these people who are going, oh, Peach is a Mary Sue, it's a woke movie. Guys, Peach is, like, awesome in this movie. She's funny, she's cute. There's an action sequence later on where Bowser is trying to marry her, and she busts out an ice flower and starts icing up all the guys. I'm like, this is just cool. This is fun. I love this. And I especially think, you know, the Mario or the Nintendo company in Illumination, I think they thought about it. I think part of the reason that they gave Peach a starring role over Luigi is they're like, you know, we want this to be a movie that really brings in both genders, little boys and little girls. And you can say, well, you know, that's stupid or whatever, but let's be real. Little girls love princesses. Seeing a princess who kicks ass and rides a motorcycle and whatever else, like, I think little girls are going to fall in love with Princess Peach. She's a great character, and I think it's a great way to kick off this franchise. I think it has something for both boys and girls. All right, so talking about what the plot is, which there isn't one, again, and that's what's interesting is the critic. I think that's the biggest thing for the critics is the critics are going, well, there's no plot here. And I go, yeah, but I don't think that's a problem. I don't think you need... I mean, there's a part of me that goes, you could have done something. You could have had a little more emotional beats. You could have done something about, you know, Mario and his brother having a falling out or trying to prove himself to his father. The whole thing with Peach not knowing who her parents are. Those are all interesting, and I would like to see them expanded upon. But frankly, for this first movie, I think playing it safe is fine. I think just saying, look, it's a big love letter to Mario. It's a, you know, for Mario fans who already know this lore, who don't really need to dig into it. So all you get from the plot is Bowser has found the super invincibility star. And with that, he has enough power that he's going to conquer all the kingdoms, but specifically the Mushroom Kingdom. He wants to marry Peach. I saw one reviewer, I think you guys know her, Grace Randolph, saying, this is sexist.
Today's Marketplace post Me Too, to hear Bowser declare that he's going to ask Princess Peach to marry him, which apparently isn't a spoiler because I looked it up and it happens in the games all the time. Wow, that's stalker behavior. And I would say kind of makes this not appropriate for children, quite frankly.
Kids get this plot. That's what I don't understand is you can say that's like played out that the villain just wants to marry the girl against her will and it's outdated or whatever else. But I'm like, kids understand that. They're going to get it. And they're going to think it's funny that this big, stupid monster wants to marry the beautiful girl and he thinks, you know, taking over the world is going to somehow win her heart.
Today's Marketplace post Me Too.
So that's basically the plot. The plot is Bowser's coming. He's going to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom. And Peach, if she doesn't marry him, he's going to destroy her and all her people. That's it. That's all you get. We don't know where he got the star. We don't see him get the star. We do get this very fun sequence where he fights the penguin people to kind of establish how powerful he is. But again, that's really all you need. It's a very basic adventure story. So Mario arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom. Very quickly, he meets Toad. Do I have a picture of Toad here? Toad was great, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele. Just fun, very funny.
Coming through! This guy's brother is going to die imminently! Out of the way, please! Just trying to clear a path. That's all I'm doing. He's gonna be fine.
And him and Peach and Mario, they all go on a little adventure. The adventure is, we can't stop Bowser alone. We need the help of the Kong army. I was so excited when Cranky Kong starts talking. So Cranky Kong is the king of the Donkey Kong Kingdom, and he's voiced by Fred Armisen, who is kind of doing him as an old Jewish comedian, which was hilarious. I think Fred Armisen, first of all, there's been a lot of talk about the voice actors are going to be terrible and why did you get Chris Pratt? They figured it out. I think it is good that we had some criticism for them because it feels like they did talk to Chris Pratt and go, listen, man, you got to Mario it up a little more. I noticed during the go-kart sequence, there's a part where Mario's all excited at the head of the go-kart people. And in the trailer, he went, wahoo! Wahoo! And it sounded like flat and terrible. I think they re-recorded it for the movie because in the movie version, he really goes, wahoo! 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 And I'm like, oh, hey, all right, Chris Pratt's nailing it. But in terms of the voice cast, which is all terrible, or which is all terrific, rather, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong had me dying, where he's just basically, he tells them, he's like, oh, you want my army? All right, you want my army? You got to fight my son, Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong voiced by Seth Rogen. Look, love him or hate him, I think he was fine as Donkey Kong. Again, I was seeing weird criticisms from reviewers that they're like, oh, the jokes are stale. At one point, Donkey Kong says, oh, it's on like Donkey Kong. When he said it in the movie, I was like, I don't know, that's like a stupid, fun little line. I'm not upset about that. Even a guy like Seth Rogen, who I normally am not a big fan of, I think turned in a pretty good performance as Donkey Kong, and I enjoyed it. He's a little bit of a rival to Mario. He's a bit of a dick. And it really works out and helps round out that cast. Honestly, the only voice performance that kind of bothered me, and I know this is going to sound crazy, is Jack Black. Now, it's not Jack Black as Bowser. I thought he was a fine Bowser. The problem to me was the, like, unnecessary need to let Jack Black sing in the movie. Bowser has these little piano songs singing about how much he loves Princess Peach, but the songs aren't funny. They're like really fun. I was actually surprised by how uncreative the songs were. It kind of just felt like they were said to themselves, well, we have Jack Black. I guess we need him to sing because that's like his thing. This is just a tribute. You gotta believe it. If the song was like funny or interesting, it would be fine. But they kind of just had him sing for the sake of singing. Maybe some people will find that funny. But honestly, I listened to the lyrics of the song, and it's just him going, I love Peach. Peach is great. I hate Mario. And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing here. This is not creative or interesting at all. Speaking of music, there's two things I want to touch on. One, I see a lot of critics complaining about the use of like popular 80s rock music. I went into this and I thought I was going to hate it because that's one of my big criticisms about movies. I think, what was it? Black Adam. There's a part where he's, killing a bunch of guys in tanks and they're playing Paint It Black. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore. And I'm like, because he's Black Adam. Or famously Suicide Squad, which had a different song for every scene. It felt like a music video instead of a movie. Normally, I hate that kind of stuff. But the thing is, here it's exclusively done for comedic effect. And the songs don't it's not like a full song montage of like, oh, we're going to really, drag this out and force you to listen to this whole song and set it to music. No, it's like brief musical stings to kind of like add a little bit of humor. Now, are these like played out, like obvious tunes? For instance, during the snowball fight with the penguin people, they play the fight song from Kill Bill. What do you call it? Da-da-da. Yes, okay, it's a very stereotypical fight song. It's probably been in a million movies by now. But I still find it funny to see these little penguins all making snowballs set to this like extreme action movie song. There's another part where Mario is doing the obstacle course, and they start playing that song like, oh, to be a hero. It would be cheesy if they dragged it out, but it goes for like 10 seconds. So I don't know what critics are complaining about. I think it's just yes, it's a tired joke. But again, this is a movie for kids, a lot of whom probably are hearing this movie or this kind of music for the first time. So I think it's fine to do those jokes for kids. It does not bother me. The other thing I wanted to say about the music, and I should have brought up the guy's name, the composer for this movie is a fucking genius. He has taken pretty much every Mario song that you know, that you've heard before. There are songs from across the entire Mario universe, and has somehow managed to expertly weave them into this movie in a way I did not think possible. I mean, like, they go underwater and you hear doo 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 doo, like everything. This is such a love letter. Whoever did the music for this movie, I should just look it up, but I'm lazy. Clearly took the time to go through the entire discography of Mario, find songs that fit the scene. Hi, Scraps. And then all like reconfigured them and like melded them together, because some songs will then transition into other Mario songs, or there'll be reinterpretations of those songs. I kind of want to buy the soundtrack. I never buy soundtracks for movies, but the soundtrack for this, I was like blown away by how expertly it was done. Whoever that guy is, give him a raise. Like, he made this movie what it is. Anyway, so Mario fights Donkey Kong. He wins, which then, you know, the Kong army agrees, okay, you beat Donkey Kong, we will help you fight against Bowser. And they say, we know a shortcut to get back to the Mushroom Kingdom to beat Bowser there, and the shortcut is the Rainbow Road. This was kind of, you know, like, how do we put Mario Kart in this? Oh, what if they have to get back really fast? It doesn't really fit naturally into the movie, but I guess it does make for a cool little Mad Max action sequence where the Koopas then burst in and chase them down the Rainbow Road. Mario and Donkey Kong, sadly, are run off the road into the water, but eventually find their way back to the Mushroom Kingdom for the big fight. Bowser shows up and he says, marry me or I'll destroy your whole kingdom. Peach tentatively agrees, but then obviously at the altar, grabs an ice flower from out of her bouquet, starts freezing guys, starts saving the day. Mario and Donkey Kong arrive right in the nick of time. They save Luigi, and that's when Bowser launches a giant bullet bill, basically a nuclear bomb, to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario turns into, let's see, we had a picture of it here. Mario turns into Raccoon Mario, and he pisses off the bullet bill by swiping it in the eye with his tail, which was kind of funny. And then he goes, okay, all right, I'm going to chase this asshole now. Starts chasing Mario. He leads it back to the warp pipe to Brooklyn, which then forces the bullet bill through, brings Bowser's castle back to Brooklyn, and then there's a big final showdown. Mario and his brother taking on Bowser in Brooklyn. They win the day. They get the invincibility star for themselves and destroy the armies of Bowser. All very good, very, easy, simple plots. Again, it is sad that Luigi doesn't get that big moment until the final battle at the end, but I'm glad they did find a way to work him in. A little more screen time for him would have been great, but it still works. So ultimately, again, I want to say this is a movie that if you like Mario, you're going to have a ton of fun. There's a bunch of little Nintendo Easter eggs, but maybe too many Easter eggs, because the dummies behind me couldn't stop pointing them out. I finally had to go, guys, we know. You don't have to say it every time it's on screen. Like Mario at one point is playing Kid Icarus, and the guy behind me goes, oh, he's playing Kid Icarus. I'm like, you don't have to say it out loud, you oh, the diner is called Punch-Out. Punch-Out's a thing from Nintendo. We know. It's full of references. Shut up. You don't have to tell me about all of them. So if you love Nintendo and you love Mario, and again, you understand, you take all this at face value. Because I see critics and they're like, well, how come there are just bricks that float in the air? Which Mario makes a joke about. As he's running through the Mushroom Kingdom, he goes, okay, you guys have bricks that just float. That's weird.
Oh, okay, so these bricks are just floating here?
You kind of just have to accept it. Or the whole idea of power-ups. What is a power-up? There's just blocks that have magic items in them for some reason. It's like, yeah, dude, it's a video game. No, we're not going to explain they came from some magic wizard or whatever. Like, there just are power-ups. Okay, if you eat a blue mushroom, you get small. Why? Because it's a video game. Who knows? Why? What is it? Who cares? Why does the star have powers? Like, you got to just go along with it. So yes, if you're a fan of this is all going to make sense to you. You're going to be excited by all the references and all the fun. If you're a critic who has never watched Mario, and then Mario, grabs a leaf and turns into a raccoon, you're going to go, why the fuck is he a raccoon? How does that work? For fans, you go, yeah, of course, a leaf turns you into a raccoon. What are you, an idiot? Everybody knows that. If you're a critic and you're not a fan of Mario games, you've never played them, yes, I can understand why critics are like, this movie doesn't make any sense. I think that's interesting. Can we have movies that just are not for like a general, I don't even want to say a general audience, because I think generally people have played Mario, are not for a non-video game audience? Can we have movies that are built into a niche where the people going into them go, I know who Mario is, I know who Bowser is, I know who Luigi is. This is a movie explicitly for the fans. I think typically it's been expected that a movie has to hold your hand, and people who aren't familiar with the franchise, it has to lead them in and reintroduce all the characters and do all that. This movie just says, no, if you don't know who Mario is, probably don't see this movie. And I think that's fine. And I think it will do very good. I mean, it comes down to like Batman, okay? It's the same with Batman. Do we need to see his origin story again? Or are we at the point with the Batman character that every functioning person already knows Batman's origin? So you don't need to spell it out. You can just go into the movie and go, it's a Batman movie. He's Batman. You know who that is. We're not going to explain it to you. We're not going to tell you how his powers work or, where he gets his money. We're just going to have him do Batman stuff. And I think it's the same with Mario. Everyone who's anyone knows what a Mario is. They know what a power-up is. They know that the Mario world has these certain rules and physics and whatever else. And we all just accept it. We don't need it explained to us in like meticulous movie terms. But these critics are going in and they're going, I don't understand why a blue mushroom would make a man tiny. They need to explain how that works. No, they don't. It's video game logic. If you are somebody who knows what Mario is, you're going to have a good time. The critical score is like kind of useless this time around because it's a bunch of people who either are only like barely familiar with Mario or, think it's stupid and they want everything explained, and that's just not going to happen. It's a love letter to Mario fans. I think it's absolutely worth your time. And honestly, I came out of it and I'm like, I could watch that movie 2 or 3 more times. Yes, it's simple and stupid. It's a kid's movie though. And it's a great kid's movie. Kids are going to love the shit out of this movie. They're going to love Mario. They're going to love Peach. Like, I'm surprised they don't have more toys available, because come Christmas time, Mario toys are going to be sold out. This is going to be the biggest kids movie of the year. I'm calling it right now. It's fun. It's funny. It's got action. It's got great graphics, visual effects, whatever you want to say. Mario movie. Do I wish? My one caveat, I hope the next couple movies get a little deeper with the plot, explore some more themes. But as the first outing out the door, I mean, this is like a 9 out of 10. This is everything you want. The only thing I want, like a little more plot, a little less of Jack Black singing bad songs. That's it. But other than that, 9 out of 10, great movie. Anyway, guys, that's my review of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Let me know in the comments. Have you seen it? Did you also like it? Are you one of these people who doesn't know what Mario is and you're mad you went and saw the movie and you're like, what? How do the power-ups work? Why are there Donkey Kongs? Why aren't they Monkey Kong? They're not Donkey. It's like, shut up. I hate you people. This is not for you. It's a Nintendo movie for Nintendo fans. So please subscribe to the channel. And guys, coming next week, I think we're going to have the Kickstarter for my comic book go live. Please get on the mailing list now so I can let you know when that happens. Super Killer is coming. Believe in yourself. Believe in me. I love you. And go see the Mario movie. Great movie. Take care of yourself.